Welcome back to Beyond the Trenches, presented by One Mic Media. And we are here today to talk about an exciting week of football. Lots of upsets, lots of great games. And as you know, we're here every Wednesday to bring you all of our insights, our thoughts, and our predictions for the following week. Of course, I'm here with the usual team. Got to bring them in one by one, give them the proper introduction. My man who had the biggest upset of the week, which was against me in the fantasy league. My God, Daryl, what's up,
What's
Daryl?
good, Mike? I appreciate you allowing me back on your platform after this past weekend, man. I appreciate
Now
that.
you always there. You always there. Next up, but not the least up, guy, another member of our Steelers Nation. We come in one by one, just like our championships. My guy, Toby, what's good, Toby?
Yo, what's going on, Mike, man? Steelers Nation, 2-0, feeling good. Just another week, man. And I won in
Another week.
fantasy, too. Shout out to
Oh yeah,
fantasy, man.
you 2-0 too. All
Shout out
right.
to Kamara.
And let's bring in my right hand who does all of our pickums every week. Always got all the facts and figures, and we can't wait to give it insight. My man Jeff, what's good, Jeff?
What up? What up, Raider Nation? You know what's up?
Oh shit.
What's up? You know what's up?
This guy. Last but not least, representing his Eagles, of course, representing One Mic Media. My guy Jordan, what's good, Jordan?
What's good, bro?
Oh
I wish
shit.
everybody had like a happy, enjoyable intro. They team won. They won in the fantasy. I took two L's. Never mind, bro.
Yeah, never
mind,
mind.
bro.
Never
Never
mind.
mind. Just go ahead, bro. Yeah, just go ahead, man.
I
Fuck
mean,
it.
yeah, let's start off the show. I mean, we did talk about a little bit of the fantasy recap. Daryl beat me. Toby and Jordan had a battle. I know who's going to win that, but, Toby
I
won.
mean, it wasn't that much of a
Romped him.
battle.
You romped him. Romped him.
Yo, shout out to Kamara, dog. That what he
All
did.
right, Jeff. All right, Jeff.
Romped him. You don't get a chip in this league. You ain't talk to me.
All
Man.
right, Jeff. All right, bro.
You worry about
Bro,
trophies,
calm
man.
down. I better
Jeff,
listen.
didn't
You
you,
lucky
didn't
the
you lose
Eagles
too,
don't
Jeff?
play you. You lucky
Huh?
we don't fucking
Didn't
play
you lose
us.
too?
Yeah, but I ain't lose by 80. Like I ain't worried about it.
But all right, bro. He's so hyped his team won. Fuck out of here.
I just listen.
Fuck
I
out of here. He's so hyped they got it done. Like he can talk shit.
I'm saying, man.
Let me take it back before we start the show about Thursday. And we saw what happened to Tua. And the Bills won the game, though. Shouts out to them. A lot of James Cook. But we did see Tua get that another concussion, went out after he just got paid. Well, Jeff, I'll start with you. What's your thoughts on that and what he should do moving forward? Tua, should he retire? What you think? What would you do?
I mean, because of the seizure type motion in his hand, I think he should in actuality, but from the research I was doing, if he steps away, he owes the Dolphins like $123 million back. And I don't really think he's got that in the bank. I know his family's probably well off, but they don't have that. It's a tough situation, man. I mean, as a quarterback, the head injuries, all the research, the CTE, the NFL was putting all that money into it, and they pulled their money out. You just really hope for him to have good health, but it's a tough situation, man. 100 million and owe somebody is wild crazy.
How about he's got 100 million? Is that what it was?
Now he owed him 123 million if he retired.
Yeah, that's a lot. So, what's your thoughts on that? I know you felt about Tua, but what's your thoughts after
I
seeing that?
mean, yeah, besides how I feel about Tua, y'all know how I feel about Tua. Shout out to Tua. I didn't know about that he would have to owe,
Mhm.
money like Jeff just said. When I seen that, I'm like, yo, Tua got to retire though, because he got away with that one lucky season, like Mike said, because we had that bet and he ended up playing all those games. But usually he get at least a concussion or two, like every season. He's a small guy, it's a risk you take. But if he's gonna owe that much money, I feel like he's gonna take that risk. He's gonna have to keep playing because that's too much. That's too much. So I hope he can stay healthy and come back, and play.
Yeah, what you think, Daryl?
I mean, I kind of saw that like kind of happen. I mean, like, I was watching the game and it was kind of open field. Once he put his head down, I had a bad feeling. Like, and it wasn't really head to head contact. Like he hit Demar's chest, but it's like the impact just knocked him out cold. Like, I I think he should retire, but I don't think he's going to. Just again, kind of what Jeff said about what he owes, and I mean, and also like last year he was clean, like to finish the season, no problems. So I mean, I just really feel like it's kind of hard to do like a true natural football player to kind of during the game kind of change his mindset of how he plays, but he really got to keep in mind of like taking care of himself, avoiding those hits, because he is kind of fragile. I mean, because that hit wasn't really too much of a force to the head. So I think he should retire, but I think he's gonna sit back, take this time off with this IR, get back healthy. But they in trouble as far as the rest of the season goes.
That part, Jordan, that's your man to him. How you feeling about the whole thing? Jordan, can you hear?
So I mean, I like what's crazy is like no cap, when I saw that play, like it's crazy. My dad called me after that shit, and he's sitting there like, "Yo, like, right, like if that was you, you know what I mean? I'm pulling you off that field. Like if that was my son, bro, he could never play the game again. I don't give a shit what money, you know what I'm saying, you owe them, or you know how much money, you know what I'm saying, you would get or whatever. I don't give a shit about that. Like right, that at the end of the day, that shit is life. That's the second time he curled up in that fencing position and he didn't even get cracked. It ain't like he was a defenseless receiver coming across the middle and he got smacked. He took a regular contact hit to the head, and this is the second time that happened. Like, if he was my son, you wouldn't suit up. It's hard to be in that. Like, it would be hard for me as a teammate to see that shit for a second time and not be like, damn, dude, you sure you want to come back out here, bro? You're not even getting cracked, and you really can't take a hit. You know what I mean? He's too little. He's too frail. And like, I know all of us, right? We all damn near pretty much around the same age and shit, or look, you know what I mean? But we come from that era of football of like, rub some dirt on it.
No, we do. Y'all don't.
Dirt on that. That's after, like that. That shit is gonna affect his after football. Like all that shit affects your after football life. You know what I'm saying? Head, physically, all that shit. But like that shit hurt, man. Just being a football fan, watching the game and shit like that. I felt bad for bro. No cap.
Why didn't he slide? I mean, he was getting what, 1 extra inch? Like he went into that head first to get what, a half a yard more? Like that's crazy.
It was the heat of the moment. Like they were struggling to move the ball. Like he felt like he had to do something. So it's like that like for a football player, heat of the moment, like it's hard to get them out that mindset.
A slide is a football play. I just
It's
don't understand.
Football play.
It's a lot smarter and safer.
Sometimes like when they on that field, they feel invincible and feel like they can't be stopped. So those moments.
I feel you.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
I kind of agree with Jordan on that. I think you know, his journey been crazy. He stayed getting hurt. He actually took, you know, whatever, like he went to some training, learn how to slide, how to fall.
Jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
and stuff like that. And he put on some weight last season, which is why I know he's gonna win that bet with Toby. But then this season he wound up losing weight because he wanted to be faster, and then you see what happens. So he can't, you know, figure it out. So I feel like that. And I feel bad for the Dolphins and the whole Miami area because they do got those receivers and they got a nice little fast team and a good coach. But I don't know what they did. He might set them back for a while, you know, the way things are. But moving forward, go ahead.
cooked.
No, I just said they're cooked.
Moving forward, man. Monday Night Football in front of the world to see. No other game on. The Eagles, they were up and then they weren't, and they lost to the Falcons at the end of the game. Lost by 1, blowing that lead. The final minutes. I want to give our thoughts on the game, but I want to give Jordan the stage first because he had a lot. Well, we're gonna give him some time because he'll go all day. But
Yeah.
Let's see what he got to say. What's good, Jordan? Go ahead, man.
So, for one, like I wish y'all could have had a camera on me when Saquon dropped the ball. 2, when they went for the field goal, I'm like, it's too much time. You left them 1:38 on the clock. In a 2-minute situation for any quarterback, that is an easier situation to be in than trying to actually run the offense from, you know what I'm saying, the 25-yard line down to trying to get the, you know, trying to score, get a field goal, whatever. First of all, right, they start at the fucking 30. A minute 38, no timeouts. That's easy money. And I believe they have given up the most points in 2 minutes than anybody has in the league in the last 2 years.
Mm.
That's a fucking disgrace. That's a disgrace. I'm tired of Jalen Hurts. What are you seeing? What are you looking at? I don't know. They're trying to make him into a different quarterback. We talked about it last week. He's not going to drop back and pick you apart. It's not his game. Until they figure that out, until they learn how to actually use their quarterback, this is going to be a continuing theme, and we still might win 9, 10, 11 games. But we're not getting back to the Super Bowl with this bullshit.
We knew that.
We're not. We have no pass rush. No pass rush at all. The best DB is the rookie. The rookie.
All right.
I mean, right. I'm a huge fanatic, so I'm delusional when it comes to that. So I'm just being dead ass right now. You feel me?
Yeah.
We're not going back. We're not winning shit right now with the way they look. They might not beat the fucking Saints.
Mm.
That should
Team around the NFC East.
that should have been in your pickups, Jeff. That game right there. But
No, it's too.
So,
I'll tell you why. So,
I'm not sure what else. I'm not sure how they. I don't know. Maybe Sirianni. Maybe it is your fucking time. Maybe it is your time because you went for it when it didn't matter in the first quarter when you should have just took the points, and then you kicked the field goal when it did matter when you probably should have fucking ran the ball. I can't be mad at the play call with the pass on third because it was a great play, and you expect your second best offensive player to catch your best offensive player to catch the fucking ball. No, AJ doesn't help, but they should have won that game they should have won that game without AJ Brown. Devontae had a couple drops too. I don't like what I'm seeing, man.
Daryl.
You're not winning shit.
So I'm gonna start. I was gonna start with just the secondary, just rearing its ugly head again. But I'm gonna get to that, but I'm gonna start from the beginning. Kind of what you touched on, Mike, during the game. AJ Brown and that deep play threat was definitely missed. I feel like sometimes Jalen Hurts, like just due to him not really seeing the field that much, sometimes he just says, "Fuck it, throw it at AJ Brown." He makes a play, move the chains, and they can have their offense flow that way. But without him, and just having Devontae as a number one, he's more of like a chain mover. I don't really see him as a deep play, big, like the deep shots down the field type of guy, and that was definitely missed. Like I think they could have used Saquon early and more. I feel like they were starting to get away from the run and have Jalen Hurts. Once I think Jalen Hurts, he was again, we kind of talked about how he was looking kind of slow in the beginning. I don't know what happened, but it was one drive where he just woke up, kicked it into gear, and they scored. I think that first touchdown score to the Devontae, but they ran the ball mostly during that drive, which is their strength. But I feel like they got away from that early and just kind of. I mean, credit to the Falcons defense. They played better than expected. That D line and that secondary with AJ Terrell and Bates, they showed up, especially late during the game. The Eagles defense though. That bend, they're not. I don't think they're good enough for a bend but don't break approach. Like they can't get pressure, and they can't. The secondary just is to be had every week. Like the second week in a row where CJ is in the middle of the field and he gets torched. That last drive, that last drive for the Eagles defense, I'm not sure why that coverage was so relaxed. Like if you play press, you put hands on them, you force the receivers to get out what they're looking to get away from their want to do. You extend the play, allow your pass rush to get to the quarterback. But they just let Kirk and the receivers do whatever they wanted. That last, I don't know who was trying to defend Mooney that last drive, but it was no luck. It was all on the left side of the field. Just one cut, one move, wide open. They kept the chains moving. I think it was only like 3 plays that really got to the red zone. And then that last play, I watched that play like 5 times. There was no reason for Darius Slay to get beat like that. He was in. They had 3 receivers on the right side. he was playing. He was trying to. He was playing inside coverage. He had 2 guys next to him to worry to do whatever as far as if Drake London moved cut to the inside. All he had to do was keep the outside and handle that side of the field. But that juke by Drake made it. I mean Drake London. That was too easy for him to slip up and just get lost in that play. I'm not sure if it's up to if it's a skill level thing with Darius Slay or the decision with coach to play off coverage, but that was too easy to just be had, especially in the last drive with the game on the line. They they need a touchdown. That it was just too easy for him. I don't know if that was again a coaching decision to play back, but again, especially on that play, if all 3 of the cornerbacks on that right side is pressing, moving, and putting their hands on the receivers, I don't think they score that easily. But that was the biggest takeaway for me is that unfortunately the Eagles' biggest or the biggest weakness is the offense. I'm sorry, the secondary, and still to this day is their biggest weakness, and because of that, that's going to limit them this year. Definitely after I was trying to leave out hope as far as like them changing their whole philosophy, leaning on Saquon, but that secondary is going to keep costing them games, especially with high-powered offense like the Saints. We already know what the Niners can do when healthy. And some other offenses starting to heat up in the NFC, and I don't see the Eagles being able to stop anyone, especially when it matters most in playoff time.
Let me go to Jeff, man.
You know, it's funny when I saw it, I said, "Damn, Drake downs Philly again." It was irony of that, right? But you know, again, it does go back to the Eagles defense. And you know, it was a really great game. Kirk Cousins looked a lot better. They had him under the center a bunch of times, a lot more. Bijan he's shady-esque, if you ask me. He has like the McCoy type moves, the 1 foot jab, cut and move, bust guys open. He's real dynamic, but again, this all came down to the Eagles. Kirk Cousins was 2 for 5, 40% throwing with a 3.4 yard per catch when they blitzed him. And they didn't blitz him at the end of the day, and that's kind of crazy. Like, and I looked at it and I said, "Wow, why aren't they?" You know, it's funny because the Eagles had 9 penalties in the game, and the crazy part is about that defense. They missed Fletcher Cox so much. Like, sacks became a recorded sack in 1982. The Eagles have gone 6 straight games without a sack by an edge rusher. Like, that means they're not getting to the quarterback at all, and they're leaving these cornerbacks on the island, which none of them are really that good. I mean, both Slay came from Detroit. Gardner Johnson went to Detroit, came back. They were available for a reason. The young guy, Quentin Mitchell, looked like he was balling, but then I saw the way that, you know, Mooney was carving him up at the end. And I was like, oh, you know what? He might not really be ready for this type of responsibility. So, Mike, you said we talked about this before the season started. Vic Fangio, trash. Like, he was somebody else's trash. He is not a treasure here. Like, it don't work like that for him. You know, and it's like, it's interesting because the Eagles giving up 6.4 yards a carry per game. That's the most in history, like their franchise history. That's the most they've given up. 2 games into the season. This is the craziest that they've given up. They actually have gone 7 games straight without 2 or more sacks dating back to last season. So it's really up front is not getting anywhere to them. That old philosophy from 2017 where they just rush forward, let 8 drop back and do their thing, that's dead. That's dead. Jalen Hurts again, another interception, 7 straight games throwing an interception dating back to last season. That's not working. Saquon is cool. The drop by Saquon was bad. Maybe he's just, I don't know what was up with that. I think he was thinking about
the moment.
Not the moment.
Like it was the moment.
He was ready to turn his head and go for the touchdown. Too
He
soon.
was.
He was too excited.
He thought, but
that play call was crazy good though.
Yeah,
like,
it was a
to
great
get
play
him
call,
out on
yeah.
that outside by himself. That was a really good.
If he catches
call.
it, because they did it a little bit, I think, earlier in
Third
the
quarter,
game.
we almost had a touchdown.
Yeah.
Ran the same type of formation and everything. And a player that I was looking at the entire game was Sweat, Joshua Sweat, I think.
Yeah.
He now hasn't had a sack in 10 straight games. The previous 13 games before that, he had 1 sack a game. So he's non-existent. Like, the edge rushers are gone. Graham still there? Is even Brandon Graham still even there?
He almost your age. I think
He doing nothing. Cox is missing. So, like I said, the Eagles really got to adjust that defensive philosophy by firing Fangio, if you ask me. And they got to bring some other corners in. But again, they may win the division because of, no one ever wins the division twice in the same season in the NFC East. But if Jalen Hurts continues to seven straight games with interception, that's blasphemous, man. That's crazy to be making $50 million a year and throwing a pick every game. That's wild. So they've got to figure that out. As far as Atlanta Falcons go, this could be something. They could get started now. Kirk Cousins has been on Monday Night Football in Philly week 2 the last 3 seasons. So I think he finally turned the page with this one. It might be at the Eagles' expense, but I could see the Falcons kind of getting rolling there. They got a lot going.
Toby.
Yeah.
I watched the game. Didn't watch the whole game. I seen Saquon though. Saquon played a great game though. Saquon was eating. I was happy for him. But I'm gonna put the blame, shockingly, on Saquon.
Okay.
Everybody's blaming the defense. I think if Saquon catches that ball, we can all say the game is over. At that point. So their defense isn't great. We knew that. CJ made that clutch tackle on Bijan. Remember that? I felt like that sealed the game. I'm like, yo, this is another clutch play for them, even though they had their lapses on the defensive side of the ball. If Saquon catches that ball, the game is over. At the end of the game, I don't know what coverage they was playing. Like there was said earlier, they were playing off. They wasn't playing press. It was so easy. Like before that, like Kirk wasn't tearing them apart like that on every single play. Then it was just like all of a sudden they're letting them do whatever they want. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he was going to win that division. Like Jordan said, they're not good enough to win the chip. And Jalen isn't that guy that's going to lead you down at the end of the game. That's not his game. And they put him in that position. Well, Saquon put him in that position because he didn't catch that touchdown. Then the defense finally broke. And then now he has to play that Tom Brady-esque ball. And he don't got that in him. And they just need to go back to, him running the ball more. And, that's his game. Try to win like that. Try to let keep the defense off the field because they so bad. So that's all I got to say.
Before you go, Mike, Kirk Cousins got 15 game-winning overtime touchdown drives in the last 5 seasons. That's the most in the NFL. 15 over the last 5 seasons. So, I mean, you give him the ball, and he's going to cash in.
So, I know our longest topic. So, it's when start with the Falcons. As far as them, I think they're going to be up and down all season. I think Kirk's still not 100% healthy. I was coming off that Achilles. He don't move as great as he used to. I don't like their offensive coordinator. I don't think they use Pitts enough. I don't think they. I like how they run the ball. Though they have a good running scheme, but I just don't like how they spread the ball around enough a little bit for me. Like some of their play call not great. They're gonna be up and down all season. That division, I think Darryl said it in the chat. Saints, Bucks, Falcons. It's gonna come down to the wire, and I don't think we're gonna know. Who gonna win the division.
Can't trust none of them teams. To
be honest,
none of them QBs.
But I'm actually Shake and Bake been balling for a little minute now. Though. I gotta
Shake and Bake put a move this weekend, boy. He put somebody in the turf.
yeah, gotta get into it. But as far as the back to the speaking of Bijan, as far as the Eagles are concerned, see they had a horrible pass defense last year, but this year is weird because the run defense is crazy. Like Brees was running last week, and now Bijan was killing them, like gashing them. So I don't know where is Jalen Carter at. I know Jalen Carter. I know he missed the first series because he apparently had discipline issue or something like that. So they sat him, they benched him or whatever. But I don't know where he at. I don't know where the inside guys at. Maybe you're right, Jeff. That's where Cox might be missing that more. Is in the go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Coach.
With Cox might be missing that more is in the run defense. I don't know, but I never seen them. Even when they were getting cooked last year over the top with Burberry and Slay, I didn't see the run game go like this for them last year. So that kind of is bothersome to me because I don't believe Slay is a shutdown corner like he was close to being at one point. You know what I mean? I don't know last time he made a play. You know what I mean? So I think that's bothersome. The rookie's good, Quinyon Mitchell, but they picked on him the whole last drive. Yeah. Kirk was like, "Look, we're gonna let the rookie show us, whatever, like that." And the dude Mooney was cooking and whatnot, and Ray, whatever, was doing his thing.
Steelers.
Oh, right. Okay, but it was doing this thing. So yeah, you're right. You're right. All right. So and then I don't like Fangio. I said it before the season. Fangio's old. He an old nigga. He been coaching for 25 years. Like that nigga is old, and he got old philosophies. They got a young OC, but an old DC. That shit don't really go together to me. On the last drive, he was in all prevent the whole time, and Kirk just carved them up one by one by one. They never blitzed like you said before, and I felt like that Fangio never threw nothing exotic, no concepts. And again, Miami just said, "Yo, we done with you." Like they didn't even they didn't care about him no more. So I don't like him. I know the last play call, everybody go back and forth about it. Be honest with you, you're right, Toby. Saquon should have caught the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Simple.
However, some people say that if they ran the ball, they would have ran off more clock. You know what I mean? Nick say that that the call came in from the OC. I think whatever right now. Yeah. But you know, Nick could override the calls too. So it's like, you know what I mean? Because he's trying to say, "Wasn't my call?" But bro, you the coach. The fuck. So that's why I said when I said, "What do Nick do?" Because he's telling you right now, and I can't override it. So I don't know. Hurts can't turn the corner no more. He fast up the middle, but he can't get around that edge. And I think he lost a step or something in that way. But if you call some design runs up the middle, he'll gash you. But hitting that corner, nah, he can't do that no more. So that's where he lies at. I do think AJ is a big loss. AJ make big plays. AJ get open and stuff like that. I don't think Devontae a straight number one. He's a possession receiver. You know, he's good. I think they're gonna have a season like Jordan said. We all agree. I think they're gonna be maybe good, make the playoffs, but I don't see them as a Super Bowl contender unless they try to make some moves down the line. I feel like. Anything else to say about that game?
You know, it's funny. I always used to say that young quarterbacks need a big wide receiver, somebody that can just throw the ball and just go take it from somebody, and that's what Brown was for Hurts.
And they brought in Dotson, but they didn't even use him in the game where AJ was out, so that was weird too. But go ahead.
Use him early.
No, I just had two more points real quick. Jeff, to your point to the defense and the 4-man rush and what we did in 2017 and all that, right? The 2017. They were good. That was one of the best. We probably had the best defense in the NFL as a collective unit. But in 2022, when you talk about the inside pressure with Fletcher Cox, and we had Javon Hargrave, and it was him, it was Sweat, Hargrave, Cox, and it was Hassan Reddick. That was very, very lethal. And even when they would throw Brandon Graham sometimes, even in the inside, that was lethal because it's easier for the edge guys to be able to get to the QB if you have the interior guys creating all that pressure. Hargrave and Cox were creating pressure on the inside, which makes it harder for a QB to step up. You can't go nowhere. I got you. And in turn, Hassan Reddick was on some shit. We had 4 guys.
Bro, where the 2 draft picks they just had? Carter and Davis. Where them niggas at?
That's what I'm saying. They disappeared.
Jordan Davis was never a pass rusher. Don't get it fucked up. He's
The Russians were killing him.
Jordan Davis was never a pass rusher. Never a pass rusher. He's not. Carter gets pressure. He hasn't had the sacks. He's gotten pressure. But that's where it came from. They're missing that. That interior pressure is not the same. So it makes more pressure on the outside guys to be able to get home, and they have not been able to do that. They're missing Hassan Reddick. Bryce Huff, I've seen him make 1 fucking tackle. No disrespect, but I was leery about that. You know, I was sick when they traded Reddick. Hassan Reddick was the best player on the fucking defense.
Well, how you feel about the run defense
for the last 2 years?
How you feel about the run defense? I feel that's a big problem.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Because because the game. I mean, you look at the game. They got the touchdown. I mean, that was a great drive, but for the most part, they had big plays, but they held up. For the most part, they let it all end. They let it all go on in 1:38 on the last drive.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a microcosm, but we're going to see how they do against Saints this week in the high-powered offense they got. Speaking of the Saints, good segue. Saints are played the Cowboys, and they demolished them. They had the highest scoring the first two games in both games. Toby had a game of his life in fantasy because Kamara, went off Jordan, and the Cowboys did some cowboy type things on Sunday. I'm gonna start with you, Jeff. How you felt about your Saints? I should say it's the Cowboys.
I wish this Derek Carr was still in the black and silver. I swear I do. We can use him right now. But I mean, it's listen, we discussed in our production meeting that the Saints really just used their big uglies up front and just dominated the line of scrimmage. They did whatever they wanted to. They gave Derek Carr protection. I seen sometimes they was having like 8-man blocking schemes and having like 3 men go out on the route. Chris Olave from University, wide receiver University, he balled out. Shaheed, though, man, the speedster taking the top off the top, man. That might be what this offense was missing, man. Because you put him over the top, you got Olave coming across the middle, you got Kamara coming out the backfield, you got a lethal trio of pass catchers that can get the ball and make some moves. So I'm expecting them to make a little bit of noise. And I mean, it's like I said, I know it's only week 2. Derek Carr been really efficient. They're not asking him to throw 40 times. He's like been between like the 200, 300 yard mark per game, but he's getting touchdowns. He's efficient. I think they're comfortable in the second year in this offense now. Last year, I had real big aspirations for him. I think this might be the year that I had the aspirations for last year, just because for one, the Super Bowl is in New Orleans, and like I said, 2 out of the last 4 times the team that hosted the Super Bowl made the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl, dating back to the Buccaneers and the Rams, and then you had the Chiefs win 2 times in a row, so that might come to fruition again. And then at the same time, we're not asking Derek Carr to do a bunch. You got a perennial running back, a perennial All-Pro running back in Alvin Kamara. You got the wide receivers that you need, and the defense is still pretty solid. I mean, you got Cam Jordan up front. You still got Demario Davis in the linebacking core, and you got Honey Badger in the back. Once Lattimore gets himself together as far as the health-wise, I think you got somebody at each level of the defense to kind of control what's going on in front of them. Plus, the NFC South is so up for grabs. You can get 6 wins in the division. Now, you can go from there and build momentum and kind of go further. And on top of that, they have the easiest schedule on paper. So, the Saints did what they're supposed to do. The Dallas Cowboys are just an array. Jerry Jones, I don't know what his philosophy is in holding out on the money, creating so much turmoil within the team. And they just don't have anyone else besides CeeDee Lamb. That's it. The running game is trash. I don't know why they didn't pay Henry. They should have gave him what he wanted and went over the luxury tax or whatever the case may be and went into the penalty because they would have had a solid running back. The defensive backs, Trayvon Diggs has always got burned. He's just been a gambler, so he was able to get interceptions at costly time or at times to keep them at bay. But he's always given up a massive amounts of yards, so I didn't expect anything less from that. The Cowboys, I see, second fiddle in the division this year. It could be a really, really bad year. They go in week 3 against the Ravens, a team that likes to run the ball, and they don't have any run-stopping presence up front. Once you take away all the passing and everything like that, and it allows Micah Parsons to be a run stopper, he is not that. So I expect them to be a tough season out this week.
Let me go to Daryl on that. Saints and Cowboys.
I'm gonna start with Carr. Like I'm impressed with Carr. He's I think he's one of the top 3 quarterbacks so far. Like as far as have to play so far this season. I feel like the new OC Kubiak, he's bringing a different approach this year. Like I'm seeing a lot of pre-snap, just being creative, and I feel like that's what's needed, especially in today's NFL with these defenses where they are. As far as Shaheed, as a fantasy perspective, last year I was kind of keeping an eye on him. It felt like every 5 games he would have like a deep shot for a touchdown and just be quiet after that. But so far he's been consistent. The running game is there with Kamara. I think they got Jamal Williams too. We had a crazy year a couple years ago with touchdowns, so they got solid there. Even Chris Olave, he hasn't scored yet, but they still putting up in production offense wise. I didn't really pay too much attention to them to the preseason, but I'm not sure how much they played. But the Saints look like they one of the most teams prepared for the regular season at this point so far, both sides of the ball. What's the name? Honey Badger. He's been making plays so far this year. They still got Lattimore. Got a nice D line with Cam Jordan still there as well. I usually kind of held off on Carr and the Saints because they always like inconsistent as far as the regular season. But I don't see anything that's going to kind of get in or add to that inconsistency as far as what they're doing now. They got the run game, got the defense, they got the play calling and philosophy offense wise. I feel like they're going to be consistent throughout the year, and they're going to make some noise come playoff time. As far as the Cowboys, they look like the Cowboys. They look like the playoff version of the Cowboys in week 2.
Ish.
I didn't expect that. I don't know why I picked. Well, I kind of know why I picked them because I just feel like the regular season is their time to shine, especially Dak. Putting up numbers. I didn't expect them to look like how they looked like in the Packers playoff game last year. The biggest thing that pointed out to me is last year they defense. Well, their defense they lived off getting turnovers, especially with Bland having that crazy year last year. But they don't get turnovers. They're not getting to the quarterback. They could be had. And as far as offensively, CD is the only offensive threat that defense have to worry about. You didn't invest in a run game, so now you don't have a run game. You don't have any other threats that scare you as far as like receiving options other than CD. So put double coverage on CD the whole game and let Dak do what he does, which is eventually going to give you the ball. Again, I kind of had more expectations as far as their regular season, but how they looked this week, especially beating the Browns, being inconsistent with that, and then coming back and have this showing. I have no faith in the Cowboys. I'm never picking them, never putting my faith in them again. I don't care if regular season or not. But yeah, I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with the Saints, and I feel like they're gonna be consistent. That's my biggest takeaway.
All right, Toby.
Yeah, I watched the game. It was a crazy game. I was shocked by everything that was, to be honest.
Coming to every comment with that.
It was.
I ain't watched the game. I watched the game.
I watched this game, man. It was a crazy game. I was shocked by what I was seeing. It was literally too easy for the Saints. I mean, Kamara and them was doing whatever they wanted. Derek Carr was doing whatever they wanted. Their defense looked horrible. I mean, they could not stop anybody. Dak had a turnover at one point, but you want them to try to be in the shootout, and the team and his defense can't even get a stop. Like, it's gonna be impossible. So he's trying to force things. So he made some mistakes. Saints. Jeff might finally, be right about the Saints because they honestly look like an elite team. And the Cowboys, they beat the Browns like last week, like Daryl was saying. So that win looked impressive. But now this week at home, they getting it trashed. It's like that was like fool's gold. Maybe the Cleveland really isn't that good. It's kind of crazy to see. I think the Cowboys are cooked. I thought they were cooked regardless because they won the division last year. This year they wasn't going to win the division. They didn't improve anything. They re-signed Zeke. He's cooked. He's washed. They're cooked. And they've already reached their peak. They reached their ceiling. This year I expect them to be very disappointing. I expect the Saints to. That division looks really good. Like, that division is going to be very interesting because I don't think the Saints are going to sweep through that division because how division rivals go. But I'll turn the game off at halftime. I've seen enough. I was trying to watch something interesting and competitive. I turned that shit off at halftime. There was nothing else to see. But very impressive win by the Saints. And shout out to Kamara, man. What he did was literally incredible. 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The Cowboys should be ashamed of themselves.
Should be, for sure.
Jordan, what's your thoughts on the game and both teams, bro?
Yeah, man. I mean, as far as the Cowboys, I mean, it's the same old shit. I mean, what else? What else could we have, really expected? But as far as the Saints, I'm definitely impressed from what I'm seeing. This is what Jeff did envision when they first got Carr. They were injured, didn't really have chemistry, but now it's been the same team for a couple years. They're healthy. And you feel me? They look like they're ready to roll. So they're going to be a tough out on anybody because they definitely have all the necessary talent and all the necessary spots to be able to contend. You get what I'm saying? So they just have to be consistent. Derek Carr has to stay healthy, not turn the ball over. And as long as he does that, and the offensive line has gotten better. And that was really all it was. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they could never really protect him. As long as you can give Derek Carr protection, he can give you top 10, top 15 QB play. And that's all you need to be in contention. And in the NFC, that's all you need to at least maybe to be able to win a playoff game, get to the second round, or maybe even get to the NFC chip. You feel what I'm saying? So they got the pieces to be able to definitely contend in the NFC. as far as getting to the Super Bowl and all that, I don't know, but they can contend.
Yeah, I don't know about NFC shit, but I do like what I see from them. It's not. I mean, it's a lot of that what they had to get together, but it's really Clint Kubiak who wasn't there last year. That's what Jeff did. That's the key. It was this year's hire Clint Kubiak. If they have him, I don't care what the talent they have. He brought the 49ers system. He's from the Shanahan tree. Anybody on that tree, their offense is lit and stuff like that, and it's going to keep going and going and going. And with Kamara,
I like his dad better though. I think his dad being Kubiak, back to back Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator,
but,
the Dolphins with the Broncos. Yeah.
Anyway,
In the fucking 90s? Come
Right.
on, give me a break.
Give
Give
you
me a fucking break.
Man, Kyle Shanahan come from his dad. What do you mean? Like,
I hear that. And
Like,
look
what are we
he
talking
did.
about?
And look how his offense look. You feel what I'm saying? All that shit is all the same shit. You
It
know
is
what I'm
all the
saying?
same
They
shit.
just tweak it to their own, to what type of players they got. You know what I mean? He got that shit freaked out.
yeah, he do. But he got Kamara too, like you said, as far as the weapon. And Kamara looking like he did back when he was Sean Payton right now. You know what I mean? Like he's doing his thing. He should
Yeah,
do some
and he know what he got.
Yeah, he's shifty. The young receivers are doing their thing. Carr knows when to take a shot. If Carr just keep up. If Carr has been always having talent. We said it when he was with the Raiders. You know what I mean? And if he just keep don't do the turnovers, just play the system, play what he's supposed to do, they'll be fine. As far as the Cowboys are concerned, I think y'all said it. First of all, Jersey, he was gonna be all in. They made no moves. They never addressed the running game. They got rid of Pollard, who's actually playing better in Tennessee. So the offensive line ain't that good at all. Their defense is so small. They're small and fast. But if you run right at them, even Micah, he becomes non-existent, and that's a problem. That's what the Green Bay did last year. Same thing. Run right at them and run right down their throat. Micah is built for they got to lead, third down, pin my ears back, coming to get you. But if they don't, it don't work for him. And the offense, they got one receiver really. Cooks is cooked. I'm sorry to say. and they really got nobody else. You know what I mean? So CD do get double a lot. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. Dak be having so many running lanes. Like if I was a Cowboy fan, I'd be mad as hell, yo. This nigga never takes off. I'd be like, yo, what the fuck, yo?
Scared.
Yeah.
last year he ran the ball more, and
And
he
with
had
his
the
ankle
all
looking
season.
sideways again.
I get it, but it's like, bro, he could be so much of a better quarterback if he had a threat of the run. At some point, the defense know he ain't gonna never run. So without the threat, it's like it fucks him up. That's why he be having all these fucking open running lanes or whatever like that. And he's not Dan Marino or Peyton Manning. I don't know why he want to sit back there and pack the ball the whole time. Like, just take off, bro. But nevertheless, I think they might not make the playoffs, bro. I think they're gonna lose to the Ravens this week. It's gonna be a tough uphill sled for them. They hope nobody can get you. But I mean, yo,
He didn't have a bad game, yo.
they underdogs at home. That's how you know, like, this is wild.
He didn't have a bad game.
But no cap. I hate how they have made Micah Parsons strictly just a pass rusher. Because
he should be a linebacker too, really.
No, bro. He came into the league as a linebacker. He did rush the passer at Penn State, but he stood up and ran sideline to sideline.
He's fast enough to run sideline. Yeah, as a pass rusher.
And they relegated him strictly to being an edge player, and I think that's stupid because
he's small.
He can play linebacker. He can drop back in coverage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he can play in space.
Yeah.
And when you need him to go rush the passer on third down, on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7,
he can
go get you a sack.
But if you got a 350-pounder coming at you and they blocking you,
he's set up to fail.
You're right.
He ain't LeVar, bro. Come on, he
Got
ain't
them
LeVar.
around. Mismatches.
Huh?
He ain't LeVar Aronson. Cut it out, man.
He's fast, bro. He's fast. But anyway, so that's my take on that game. I'm at the playoffs. Move on to the next. Another upset. Somehow, we don't know how, but the Raiders beat the Ravens. And probably upset of the week, honestly. Like Vegas-wise, I'm pretty sure that game, nobody bet on the Raiders. I guarantee you. But nevertheless, they did win.
No, I did.
So just like fuck out here.
Yeah, you did it. Get the fuck out of here. He did it, nigga.
So just like I'll let Jordan go about the Eagles, I'll let Jeff you up about the Raiders and the Ravens. What you got, man?
I mean, so look, look, John Harbaugh's got 9 blown double-digit leads in NFL. That's the most in NFL history. He's taking the lead. He hopped over Josh McDaniels. He's got 9 blown leads when he's got a 10-point lead, right?
Josh
Second,
McDaniels.
yeah, Josh McDaniels was ahead of. He was at 8, and then now Harbaugh takes over. Secondly, Gardner Minshew 77.5% completion percentage, man. I mean, look, week 1, he was 25-33 for 257. Week 2, he was 30 for 38 for 267. I mean, as long as he doesn't turn the ball over, we pretty solid, man. We got weapons. We got Bowers. We got Devontae. The defense is loaded. Like, come on, we got Max. We got cornerback. We playing with continuity. Let's say that,
It's
right?
annoying to have to.
It's the
with
truth.
man.
We're the fact. These are all facts I'm
Well,
giving.
listen, how you gonna talk about Gardner Minshew when you said you want to start what do you call that nigga? AOC, ABC?
Yeah, Aiden O'Connell, I did. But I mean, look, he's giving me 2 weeks of proof of why he should start. Like, and I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? The philosophy is good. Listen, this is really about the Ravens. The Ravens just choked the game away. Let's just keep it real. Like the running game wasn't there with Henry. First of all, and like I've said plenty of times before, they gave Lamar that money and tried to convert him to a passing quarterback. They are making him try to prove he's worth passing quarterback type of money. He has to run. Yeah, he ran for like 100, but he needed to run for like 200 last week. Like, he needed to really get going on a lot more plays, and he isn't doing that. John Harbaugh, he's aged, if you ask me. The special teams had hella motherfucking bad plays. You had the 24-yard punt that put us on the 43-yard line to go down and kick the field goal. You had a play before that where the Justin Tucker, now he's 1 for 7 on 50-yard field goals this season. So, we talk about the special teams. That's his thing. Like, he had the 2 replays that he had that cost timeout for him, which he had no timeouts at the end of the game. So, again, like John Harbaugh is really, if you ask me, he's the reason that they're not winning. He doesn't conform his mentality as far as how they need to play now. He's an old school coach. He's trying to stick to the old school mentality, but it just doesn't work for the Ravens. It's not going to work. And then when they asked him about running Derrick Henry, he said, that's not what we bought him for. Like, what did you bring him here for? He's supposed to be running up the gut through the holes. Like, stop trying to stretch him to the outside.
I understood what he meant.
No, they definitely bought him on. Listen, bro, anything under 3 yards, Derrick Henry should be getting the ball, no matter what we're talking about. All day, all night. So either way, we talk about the Raiders. The Eagles ain't win this week. We already talked about them, right? So look, right? You know what I'm saying? Again, this is all on the Ravens. The defense is really, really missing Patrick McQueen. I think him and Roquan Smith tandemly together would have been the best linebacker duo. Marlon Humphrey is too slow, too old. He's always hurt. He's too big of a cornerback. They got the young guy, but I just don't think it's enough. They're not getting really enough pressure. Even though they sacked us 5 times, for him to go 30 for 38 is crazy. Like, that's 8 passes that he incompleted on. That's it. So, we took advantage of what they gave us. Look, you got to play who you got to play. You take what they give, and you either score or you don't. Like I said, but I think a lot of this week falls on John Harbaugh. The 2 reviews, the one on the Devontae catch, which was a dumb one. Then you had the one on the Zay Flowers, which one at the end of the half, which was a bad one. Lost 2 timeouts. And then, like I said, you had the 24-yard muff punt, and you missed Justin Tucker's 1 for 7 for 50 yards now. I mean, I think it's time for a change, but, go Raiders. Again, I think we'll get off again this week. We got the Panthers. We're going to get some good cooking this week, and we'll be cooling in talk next week.
Yeah, talking shit.
Go ahead, Jordan. You up next.
Nah, I mean, look, about with the Raiders and shit, like what he's saying, just about right, Minshew not being able to turn the ball over, all that, right. Gardner Minshew is better than Jimmy G, so if he can get him better than what Jimmy G was fucking playing, then they'll be all right. You feel what I'm saying? Right, they have talent on the defense. Max Crosby is turning into a beast. He is a beast. Now, as far as the Ravens are concerned, and Lamar, Derrick Henry, the pass game, all that shit. Right. The fact is, they definitely did choke away the game. Just like the Eagles just fucking choked away the game. So, I'm not going to really focus on how that happened. Like, we've seen that before from both them teams, and we've seen them come back and be okay. The problem with that offense is, one, their offensive line has not it's gotten worse. And they can't run the ball up the middle the way they used to be able to be, and they don't want to run Lamar the way that they used to. And the problem is they become predictable because even when you watch them in that Chiefs game, you knew when they were bringing Derrick Henry into the game that they're going to run. Now, unless they're not going to run, they didn't run like he's not going to run a play action screen to him. They're not going to throw the rock to him, so they can load up on that, and it's easy to defend that. And that's where you do have to then use Lamar more with his legs if that's what you're going to do. Because the threat should be, okay, which one of them is going to carry the ball? If you're just going to run play action or you're going to set up and have him drop back with Derrick Henry in the game and him go out into the flat, well, he's not necessarily a threat there.
It's worse than
And
that.
if you're going to have him in there blocking, what's the point? Right. The point is to not have him run more, but it has to be in a more creative way. You know what I'm saying? It can't be.
I think it's even more predictable because
It's super
because
predictable.
when Hill is in, they pass every time, and then
Yeah,
when Henry's
facts.
in, they run. So it's like they don't even when Henry's in, they don't pass the ball. Like to make you think about passing. So I think it's just like the personnel switch, the defense ready. I think that's what happened. Go ahead. I'll find a minute to cut you off.
Nah. It's just it's not. They brought in Todd Monken. He's from Georgia, and everybody was crazy about it. I didn't understand it because even when you sit there and you watch a Georgia game, I mean, they're doing simple stuff out there. They have, in college football, from a college football perspective, they're running more of a pro-style, simple offense because of the talent and the players that they have. You have the most. Lamar Jackson's still one of the most talented players in the game. You have to get a little bit more creative, and the fact that you have Derrick Henry, you have talent. If their offensive line was a little bit better, they get away with a little bit more stuff.
Yeah, it's not that good.
So that's where you have to be able to coach certain things, and that's when your creativeness and your play calling comes out. You feel me? If you don't have that, so that's yeah.
I think about fellow NFC North people here. Tell me what you got. What you think about the Ravens and the Raiders, bro?
I was surprised that the Raiders, pulled off the upset. Good win for them.
We all were, bro.
They it looked like they'll be more competitive this year. So that's a good thing for them. Hopefully they can, make the playoffs for their sake. Lamar and them. I told people
Playoffs.
I said playoffs for their sake. I mean, I don't know if they'll make the playoffs, but I'm saying for their sake, if they make the playoffs at least. Lamar, I said we was winning the division this year. They lost to McQueen. That was important to their defense. But I'm shocked about how they folded at the end of the game. I'm really shocked about how they folded at the end of the game, how they couldn't close the game out. I didn't watch this game, but I seen the ending, and Devontae Adams, people were sleeping on him. I picked him up late in fantasy, sneaker pick because he wasn't playing in the preseason, and I don't think Gardner Minshew is better than Jimmy Garoppolo, but he does have a good coaching
Jimmy
staff,
Garoppolo's
and they do
fucking
have a good
backup.
defense. Jimmy Garoppolo has been to a Super Bowl, but yeah, I think the Ravens are going to be.
Gardner Minshew was on the Eagles team. Went to the Super Bowl too, nigga.
But Jimmy Garoppolo started. He started in the Super Bowl, man.
Who is this guy?
I'm being disrespectful to Jimmy Garoppolo. But at the end of the day, I think the Ravens are going to be a disappointment this season. I think they are, and I already said the Steelers are going to come and sneak that division away. I mean, we're looking like the more complete team, and Lamar is not he's not Tom Brady. He's not this. He's not going to beat you. Just like Hurts ain't going to beat you with his arm, Lamar is not going to beat you with his arm. Even though Lamar is better than Hurts, but that's not their game. You got to be magical with the offense. You know, his speed is unmatched. He could outrun any defense. So they got to use him in a better way. But at the end of the day, I'm happy for the loss. You know, helped out, you know, Steelers Nation. And, you know, that's it.
Daryl?
See how we help y'all
Hey
out.
man, I called this game last week. I told y'all the Ravens can be had. Like, my only interest was the Ravens losing. Like that's all I wanted as far as this game. Um, I really didn't really pay attention to the game until the end, when I think the Raiders were like down 10. And even with that, like I had a feeling they were going to come back and win it. They got some stops. Shout out to Minshew for just being able to get Devontae Adams the ball so he can be Devontae Adams and help you in games. Like that's been my biggest thing with the Raiders. Like since getting him, they haven't been really consistent with utilizing his greatness to win games. So shout out to Minshew. I think he's one of the either number one or number two in pass yards so far this year. So shout out to him. Um, the Ravens, they're just beatable. Like every week, this could happen to them. For the biggest thing is they go away from the run. Just looking back over the last few years, before the current OC they have now, everybody know the Ravens were a run heavy team. They go in every game. That's what they're going to do. Maybe play action pass every now and then, but their identity was running the game, running the ball. Now with this new OC from Georgia, like Jordan said, with that pass happy approach, and also coupled with Jeff said as far as Lamar getting getting that bag, now they just went away from their identity and don't know what it is now. They just go away from the run too easily. When in the offseason when Derrick Henry was signed to the Ravens, as a Steeler fan, I was a little worried. But now seeing how their plan is with them, all those worries are gone. Like we welcome that challenge now. Flowers and Bateman, they scare no one as far as receiving threats. Mark Andrews looks like he's struggling to get back from the injury last year. Likely he had that big game last year. Was his fight this game. Off this receivers, they don't have that much of a threat, and which kind of should lead them to run the ball more, but for some reason it doesn't happen, and that kind of just leads to Lamar needing to be Superman in order for them to win. And again, he just can't make those throws when needed. We kind of saw it again for another week, and it kind of goes into the receiving options not being of a threat. So the Ravens, they kind of proved what I was thinking this week. As far as after the first game, they just have a lot of flaws and they don't have any. I'm not seeing any signs of them fixing them. But yeah, shout out to the Raiders for getting the job done. As Tomlin would say, I appreciate the efforts from the Raiders this Sunday for sure.
Yeah, so I was kind of torn because I need the Ravens to lose, but I want the Raiders to lose. So I was kind of torn.
What kind of hate is that? It's
but,
like
but,
that's generational hate. Like, geez, like,
but then again, my dad was happy, so either way, I was kind of good. You know what I mean? But the Raiders, they did pull it out. About the Ravens, though, I'm gonna start with them. Like everything else said is true. I think they're kind of just. Well, first of all, I want to say what Jeff said about Harbaugh. I think it's been like 11, 12 years, 10 years. No, like 12 since he won a chip. If they don't do nothing this year, he might be on the hot seat. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how much equity that he gained from one chip like 10, 12 years ago, but it might be time for him to get on the hot seat. That's all I'm saying. I feel like their offense is confused. I feel like if you bring in great talented receivers, they can't be utilized because Lamar need to run the ball. He's not a great passer. Second time in 2 weeks, Zay Flowers that tweeted had a big first half and then nothing in the second half. So he ain't even great, but he's still like, yo, I need more targets, I need more catches. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a big misconception on that,
but okay, then you're right. Now how they use Henry not great, but also the offensive line is not good as it was last year. That's also an issue that they got going on. I feel like the end of games, Lamar is not that guy. Just like Hurts, kind of like I'm gonna bring you down and win the game for you if we down to score and stuff like that. I think it's kind of hard when they get down. And I feel like that they're gonna have a tough season. They got the Cowboys, Bills, and Bengals next 3 games for the Ravens. And they're already 0-2, so they gotta have a tough sled to even make the playoffs going on. Because now if they win these next 3, Cowboys, Bills, and Bengals, they back in business. But that's gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially when they get to the Bills defense. So we're gonna see how that go.
storylines in each one of those games, though.
I know it is. It definitely is. So the Ravens got a first place schedule. The first place last year. That's why it's so tough for them. You know what I'm saying? So that's not good. As far as the Raiders are concerned, Minshew been balling. I gotta give it to him. You know what I mean? The defense. You know what? I picked up the defense this week.
I saw that. Funny guy and Derek Carr. I said, "Yo, this guy's all rated out, huh?"
I picked up defense to go against Carolina. I said, you know what? The defense playing good. And matter of fact, in both leagues, this league and in Dave league. So I said, you know what?
Word up.
I got to roll with that.
But hold on now. They got the Red Rocket.
Red Rifle, he got 114 passing percentage for the Raiders in his last 2 starts.
Come on now.
Might pick him up.
But he ain't been starting in 2 years. So we'll see how he gonna be.
I don't know.
I mean, listen, if he cooked the Raiders,
don't even put that in existence, bro.
I can't wait to show next week.
Hey, listen, I already
trying to get up to sleep next week.
Hey, Mike, I got that for the. You gonna see?
We'll see. All right, but yeah, I want to see. I ain't got much less to say except for the next 3 games going to tell the whole season for the Ravens. So we're going to see how that goes. Next upset, though, because upset weekend, including Daryl, but it was the Niners beating losing to the Vikings. And the Vikings, they won the game. Darnold, played well. Another quarterback who's playing well, who expected to play well. And Niners also lost Debo. So I'm going to start with Daryl this time. How you feel about the Niners and their outcome of the game and outlook on their season?
Yeah, what stuck out to me was Brian Flores got a sneaky good defense in Minnesota. I saw that clip at the end of the game where Purdy went up to Brian Flores and said, your scheme is crazy. Like, he had troubles with it. We saw some turnovers that we usually don't see from Purdy. And Sam Darnold, he looks rejuvenated. Like, it looks like all you got to do is leave Carolina Panthers and you got a second chance at a career with Sam Darnold and Baker. I was surprised seeing Justin Jefferson have one of those Justin Jefferson games. I didn't think that was possible this year with the quarterback option they have. But it's like he can keep. I mean, he ain't gonna drop off as far as number wise with Sam Darnold at the calling the shots. I kind of said it after the first game. This might be the Niners' story as far as like battling injuries all year. Usually they're dominant, like the most dominant team during the regular season. I think that's going to be in reverse this year. I think they're going to have to try to survive this season with the injuries that's piling up and focus on getting healthy right before the playoffs. I mean, other than like the Cardinals showing some signs that they can be content, they don't have nothing to worry about in their division. I mean, in NFC, really, I mean, they're still going to be one of the top teams, one of the top 4 seeds when it's all said and done. But I do feel like it's going to be a different regular season for the Niners as far as not as dominant and just like getting through it. This might be a good sign. Might be a good sign as far as what they've done over the previous years and not getting over that hump. That might be a good sign as far as getting through some turmoil during adversity during the regular season and strengthen them for the playoffs. So, but we're going to get to it later. But I was very surprised with the Vikings as far as both sides of the ball, but especially defense. And I think Brian Flores won this game as far as anything.
All right, Jordan, what you think about the Vikings and Niners in that upset?
I mean, I agree. Flores has, you feel me? I think, if I'm not mistaken, they lost to the Vikings last year too. With Flores being the defensive coordinator, and he had Brock looking crazy. So it's definitely something there. They caught the injury bug too, which is gonna hurt them for the regular season. As long as they're healthy and a fully loaded team going into the playoffs, we know what they're capable of. They can be had, though. It's more a little bit about the Vikings. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I liked what I saw from Sam Darnold. I always thought Sam Darnold had talent. He was just on terrible teams with, like, no good, like, not even, like, the organization just was not good at the time, not enough talent. The Vikings, I don't ever really remember like a time where the Vikings were just dog shit. Like, do you guys ever remember a time where the Vikings were just dog shit?
Yes.
When?
What were they doing last season?
They weren't dog shit though.
They were dog shit though. Like
Yeah,
they
not
had
nice
injuries.
season.
It
They
wasn't
lost
like
AP.
it wasn't like a team that never had like a talent or whatever. And you know what I mean?
Remember
Like
they had Christian
those
Ponder
Jets,
at quarterback. But
Yeah,
anyway.
AP
but
was
they had
carrying
Adrian
them.
Peterson, and
When
they
they
went to
lost
the
AP, that's
playoffs.
when they was trash.
You feel me? Yeah. But I'm just saying, like that Jets team that Sam Darnold was on was the laughing stock of the team of the NFL. And then now you look at the Carolina Panthers, and that's what they are for the last couple of years. So you put him on a different team. He remember, he was the backup in San Francisco last year. So he got to sit there, learn a lot from probably Kyle Shanahan and that offense. And then, because you know what I'm saying, you learn all these, you go to different places, teams, I'm sure, different coaches. So you're going to learn so much. Then you go to Kevin O'Connell and you have all this experience, and you know what I mean? They have weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like they have an offensive line. You know what I mean? So this is the best team that he's ever been the starting quarterback of. So as long as he doesn't turn the ball over, they can be pretty good. You know what I'm saying? We got to see what the Packers do. The Lions are going to have that division. We had a little bit too think we had high hopes for the Bears, and I think reality is setting in on that. You know what I mean? So the Vikings can contend for second place in that division.
Jeff, how you feel about? Well, I know what you gonna say. How you feel about Niners Vikings?
I mean, I think y'all all smoking dope today. I mean, Brock Purdy was 28 for 36 for 319 yards and a touchdown. Mason was 24 for 100. What the hell did Brian Flores do? Like, he didn't do shit. Like,
Get them out the end zone.
lit him up. What's wrong with y'all
They took
people,
it out.
man? And look, the injury bug is biting the 49ers. Look, the only problem the 49ers had was they couldn't convert on third down. It was 2 for 10 on third down. That was it. Other than that, they did whatever the hell they wanted to do. Like, what's wrong with
That's
y'all?
Brian Flores. That's
Bro.
Brian Flores.
Yeah, I know, but
2 for
yeah,
10 on
it don't look that.
third
It don't
down
look
is
that great.
Brian Flores.
It don't cut that out. It don't look that great. Listen, Justin Jefferson
All right,
only was
just letting
4
you
for
know.
133. So take away the 97-yard touchdown. He only had 3 catches for 36 yards the rest of the game. Like that was it. Like this
Yeah,
wasn't.
so
a
he just
fantastic showing.
had to. So
Yeah,
he just jogged a
He got hurt at one point.
97-yard fucking touchdown.
Yo, that was one play, my nigga.
So they just-
Like you acting
so
like
they
he was
just-
like 10
so
for
they just
212 or
let
something like
him
that.
Get a fucking
Take away
97-yard
one play.
touchdown.
Take away one play. The rest of the week, the
Come
rest of the
on,
game, he
bro.
was normal as hell. Like,
Come on, bro.
stop
What?
playing,
He
bro.
got
Act
hurt,
like the
bro.
Vikings
He
was going
injured.
crazy.
That's
Like,
not a 97-yard
Bro.
touchdown is not normal.
bro, my man,
That
it's not. But I'm
fucking
saying it's
play
only
wasn't
one
normal.
play. You acting
That
like he
play wasn't
dominated the
normal.
whole game. He didn't dominate the whole game. Name another play he did that was like
That
explosive.
fucking one play was dominating
Stop it, man.
itself,
Stop
nigga.
it. Stop it. You
He
sound
took a
ludicrous.
97-yard
Like, you sound
to the
delusional.
fucking crib.
One play, bro. It's one play. Take that
What,
away. It's a
bro?
wrap, bro. Come on, man. Stop. Y'all acting like them niggas was lighting them
Yo.
up. They was not lighting them up. The 49ers really did whatever they
Bro,
wanted to
someone-
do. 5
Yo,
yards
bro.
per
They
carry
didn't though.
for Mason.
They
Like I said,
stayed out the
Purdy
end zone though.
300. Huh?
Bro,
All those
2 for 10 on
yards,
third
but they stayed
down
out the end zone.
is
Yo, but
because,
they
right,
scored
I'm
2
creating
touchdowns, but they had the turnovers and they couldn't convert on third down. It's not like they were having bad
That's
problems.
Brian
Their
Flores.
play callers, no, because their play receiver, their playmakers weren't there. McCaffrey wasn't there. Then you got to think about their other receiver, which is Ayuk, is still not really getting back to form. He didn't have a great season. He was out all preseason. They're just not who they are normally at this point. Now, yeah, they are biting the injury bug in some aspects, but let's be for real. They trying to get their treading going. It's not like the Minnesota Vikings came in here and did some shit or shut them all the way down where they didn't do anything. Like, we're not like stop making it seem like it was that crazy of a game.
So that
Like,
wasn't
they
impressive.
just got
to you.
one.
So that wasn't impressive. That wasn't.
That
impressive
wasn't. They just caught the 49ers lacking. And the week
All
before,
right,
they had the
so-
fucking Giants.
All right, so,
Like, I'm not impressed by this, bro. Like, it's not like the Vikings are out here slashing
I wasn't
people,
impressed
like-
by what the Raiders did either.
You know, I was impressed by the Falcons. I know that. You know what I'm saying? I know that for sure.
Walk right
Talk
into
about,
that.
nigga. You almost lost to the Packers, so cut it out with the nonsense you're talking about here, man. Like, I wasn't impressed with this Vikings win at all. I mean, I think, like I said, the 49ers might have had some self-inflicted wounds. Like I said, the Purdy injury, the Purdy turnover, and they are lacking McCaffrey, which is a big part of their offense, so they're trying to adjust. Ayuk didn't play all preseason. This is his second game back. He still had a subpar game. The 49ers, it's not like the Vikings hung a 30-banger. Like, come on, they had 23 points, which is basically 2 touchdowns and a bunch of fucking field goals. Like, so
Yeah,
cut it out here. again, it was a really good game by the Vikings. I'm looking to see the momentum because, ironically, they won all 3 of their preseason games. Now they won their first 2. I want to see if they can go on this 6-game winning streak, and it's interesting to look at because, again, it is the Vikings. Come on now, and Sam Darnold is. I mean, he's all right, bro. Like, let's stop acting like Sam Darnold's got this massive amount of talent in his back wallet that he's waiting to cash out at the ATM. Like,
He was
he's
the
all right,
number
bro.
one
He's very
overall
talented,
pick.
bro.
Yo, so was Bryce Young, but nobody's
You
screaming anything about number 1 pick
you
right now.
can't,
Like,
you
Gotta
can't
leave
be
Carolina.
not talented.
come on, bro. That's a good point. You know what I'm saying? But, like, cut it out with this Vikings that
Yeah.
had a great game against the 49ers. No, they just
They
won.
did.
49ers just aren't fully themselves at this point. Like I said,
Well, I
you got
guess the
Justin
Ravens
Jefferson.
aren't fully. I guess the Eagles and the Ravens aren't fully themselves. Then bet.
What does that have to do with anything?
Hold on.
What does that have
Let me get Toby. Toby, how you felt about these things, bro?
I didn't watch this game, you know. So,
That's a lot.
but you know, Brock Purdy is this guy that you guys be bragging about. Like, why didn't he score touchdowns?
Oh,
Jeff is talking about all these yards, 319.
I'm not trying to be
One
defending
touchdown,
these
one
other
pick.
weak ass teams, bro.
He didn't get it done. Sam Darnold, like Jordan was saying, was the backup on the 49ers before. To me, he is more talented than Brock Purdy.
Yo.
And I feel like if he actually, I don't think he got the opportunity really in San Francisco.
Where's the hot take?
But if you gave him that opportunity with that coaching, are you kidding me? Brock Purdy isn't this guy that you guys big up. He's losing all these weapons. Carry the team. This is you guys saying he's top 10 and all this. You got to carry the team. So the Vikings are very surprising. I seen that Justin Jefferson touchdown. He burned them. He said, "I'm not Garrett Wilson. I'm not Garrett Wilson. I'm Justin Jefferson." So, but he did get hurt. I got to correct him. He got hurt. I haven't finished his name. He got hurt. That's why he ain't killed the rest of the game. And that's why he helped the 49ers stop them because he probably would have went crazy. So the 49ers are going through some adversity. I don't think the Vikings is. I'm gonna what Jeff said about them being all this great team and stuff. I don't think they're there yet. Let's see what they continue to do. Like he said, but the 49ers, you got to rely on Purdy now. He has to score some touchdowns. Brian Flores did his job, Jeff. He kept them out the end zone. They had 17 points. Purdy only had 1 touchdown, 1 passing touchdown. He needed 2. He needed 2 to win the game. He didn't get it done. So I think that division is going to be tough too, but they should still eventually recover because I believe in their coaching. And we'll see. Purdy could carry though.
I mean, listen, it ain't been since the Vikings in 1974 that the NFC. I'm just saying, I don't have them going to the.
Can you finish that statement? Because I didn't even hear what you said. Since 1974, what?
1974 Vikings is the last team to lose the Super Bowl from the NFC and go back to the Super Bowl the next year.
Oh, you talking about? Oh, okay.
That's crazy.
49ers won't go back. Like we know
they
that.
Won't go back. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But the Vikings, like I said, they didn't pull off the immaculate reception. Like, stop.
I agree.
So that was a fun topic, man. You guys have me dying over here, but nevertheless, man, the Vikings got the Texans next week, so we're gonna see how that Flores defense.
That's what I want to see.
Those weapons and
that's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, so we're gonna see how things roll out with that. The Niners, I kind of agree with Jordan a bit on that. I feel like, and I guess the rest of you too, but that they're gonna be all right. I think they're gonna once they get to the dance and everybody's healthy by then. C-Mac is back. Kittle's good. Debo only got two games, thing like that. It's gonna be fine. This is Purdy's chance to see if he can win games without the rest of the squad there, and if he worked that money, they gotta pay him next year. Yes or no. I mean, as long as he still got Trent, he's still gonna be protected.
Yeah,
so that's still
he gonna get that money.
Yeah, but
he gonna get that money.
If he shit the bed without the rest of the people, they might try to tag him. I don't know. We're gonna see. But
tagging him wouldn't be hurting. Wouldn't be bad.
Word. I mean,
you don't lose Debo anyway.
I don't think. I don't think they. I don't know. I don't understand why they would do that though. To be honest, I know they got the kid.
I like
Purcell,
Purdy though.
but-
To be honest with you, like Toby be hating, but I like Purdy. Honestly, I think
Yeah,
he's nice.
me too.
And I definitely think better than Sam
Mediocre.
Darnold.
Nah,
And
he
like,
can play.
the Sam Darnold
He
take
can
was
play.
wild, bro.
Wow, where the button at?
What?
Yeah.
Massive
Yeah,
wow.
crazy. Oh my god. Yo, Purdy never had the weight of the world on his
What?
back, bro. He came into a
What?
comfort zone.
Yeah, what Toby is trying to say is that right when you look at it from a talent standpoint, when you look at like size, physical ability, all that type of shit, like that's what he's really talking about.
He ain't
like,
say
like,
that
not for
shit.
nothing like
He
that.
ain't say that. He's better.
He is more
Like,
talented
yo,
than
I'm
him.
telling you,
He
bro.
adding baggage. He like
Is
some
he?
size.
Like, who is this guy? Like,
That's exactly what I meant though. When I talk about talent, he's
Crazy.
That's exactly what he means, though.
He's
you know,
tight in the
he's
arm.
just
bro. Jimmy G went to the
Yes,
bowl.
bro.
Y'all shit on Jimmy G.
Yes.
He went to the bowl
Yes, bro.
too.
Like,
But guess
bro,
what?
like
They both
if
lost because
Brock
they not
Purdy
picked.
had the physical talent that Sam Darnold
Come
had,
on,
then,
what
right,
we talking
coming out
about
of
here?
college, Brock Purdy would have been a higher draft pick. You feel what
Come
I'm
on,
saying?
I agree.
Well.
I agree with that.
And that's
yeah.
a fact. So that's why Sam Darnold was a number one draft pick because of the actual
Yes.
physical
attributes.
talent that
Yes.
he has, bro.
Yeah.
So right,
Attributes,
that's
not
what
talent.
Toby is saying.
Attributes.
That's
not
talent, nigga.
That's
Having
talent.
the
That's
physical,
part
that's
Attributes
talent.
is height
On the-
and
on the-
weight and
on
arm
the
strength.
football field, nigga,
Arm
your
strength,
physical,
yeah, arm
your
strength.
physical
Man,
attributes are talent, nigga.
Sam Darnold on his 16 for a reason, bro. Let's move on. Like, he's
I don't
terrible.
know, bro.
San Francisco.
That's why Carson Wentz was drafted number 2 overall.
And we see how that
His
worked out.
Physical ability, you feel me?
His arm's been terrible
His
since
physical
his ACL.
talent.
bro.
You feel
Like,
me,
I don't. I don't.
Yo, let's move on, man. That's a great topic. Chiefs, Bengals, man. I know that was earlier.
Good segue, Carson Wentz, right?
Yeah, Chiefs did. They beat the Bengals again, man. And now it's like 3 straight games. I guess it's not really Burrowhead after all. But it was a 1-point game. The Bengals came to play after they shit the bed against the Patriots, and they look pretty decent. So let me go back to Daryl. What your thoughts on the Chiefs beating the Bengals in that game?
I ain't watched too much of this game. I was kind of preoccupied with fantasy and the Steelers. But as far as just looking at it, holding Pat Mahomes to 150 yards and 2 picks, like that's an anomaly. Like as far and especially the Bengals with Chase still being unhappy with the contract situation. T. Higgins still hasn't gotten healthy yet. Burrow did what he could. I mean, the rookie Burton, as far as the receivers, he's made some plays for them and spill of all that so far. But as far as and the Bengals, I feel like they got the second best defense in the AFC North. That pick, I'm not sure it was the first or second pick, that one-hander when Mahomes threw it to Worthy, that was crazy. And especially after talking shit to Worthy too during the week, that was crazy. But Mahomes, like after week 1 and especially the offseason with them getting all these weapons, I thought we was going to get like that first full year of Mahomes, like as far as close to 50 touchdowns, all those crazy yards. But looks like he's going to, especially with losing Pacheco, that's going to be big.
And Hollywood out to January now.
Yeah. So
back. Yeah.
it's going to be more responsibility on Mahomes. Kelsey going to have to wake up at some point. Because with Rashee Rice being sort of like the number one the most consistent option, you got to have Kelsey still being there making plays. He's been kind of quiet so far. I think the plan was to rely on all these young weapons and let him ease in. But with these injuries starting to pile up, he's gonna have to introduce himself this season. I do like the Steel kid. I think they got P. Ryan as far as backup, but it's gonna be more pass happy. I think from Reed and Mahomes. Just to shake this bad game. They shouldn't have won this game. Like I was looking at some of a lot of clips as far as everybody's talking about the refs helped them.
It wasn't PI. It was PI though, bro.
It was, definitely it was. And also they didn't call some blatant holding calls that was the rest was still looking right at. They just they looked the other way. So they definitely they were lucky to walk away with this victory. I feel like the Bengals, they just hate the Chiefs. Like they always are in these. I mean, they did beat them that playoff 1 year, but for the most part, they end these tough games with the Chiefs and something goes wrong. But it's a good sign without really Chase at like mind wise 100% and Higgins healthy wise not 100%. They show good signs as far as just contending with them. They should have won the game regardless of all that. But the Chiefs, I feel like I thought it was going to be like a year as far as number wise, as far as their weapons. But I think it's gonna be a lot of Mahomes, and he's gonna have to bring out that MVP Mahomes to keep them afloat as far as the top threat in the AFC.
Jordan, what you think about the game and the teams?
I mean, obviously, it's always a good matchup to see the two best QBs go at it. You know what I'm saying? They have a nice little rivalry going on, even though I mean, the Chiefs have came out on the better end more so recently. I feel like the Bengals, man, are kind of living off of that still living off that Super Bowl, man. Like that kind of was just what it seemed like, and it's kind of unfortunate because like I just wanted to see them win that Super Bowl as much as I liked Matt Stafford, love Matt Stafford. Like, I kind of wanted to see the Bengals and Joe Burrow get that shit. Like, you feel me? That would have been dope as hell for them to have been done that shit year two. You feel me? Chase being a rookie, you know what I'm saying? Getting a ring, like, that would have just been crazy as shit. You feel what I'm saying? So they kind of, I'm not going to say their window's closed because I think they have the second best quarterback in the league. Like, I think when they have all their shit together, I think he could stand toe to toe with Mahomes, and like he might be the only QB that got the, you feel me, balls of like that. Well, I already beat you, like you feel me, and I did go to the Super Bowl, you feel me, off you type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's I think where that confidence still come from, but it's like y'all still living off that shit. Like y'all still gotta come out here. Like y'all gotta stop talking. You feel me? Like just stop talking. You feel me? That's really what it is. Like they kind of talk too much for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like y'all not really putting in the, I'm not gonna say y'all not putting in the work on the field, but the results ain't been there since. You feel me?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like
Let me go to Toby. How you feel about that game, bro?
Yeah, quick points on the game. I'm happy that the Bengals lost up to the Steelers. I just felt like if this game is close and it's coming down to the wire, the Chiefs are going to win. I felt like that's how the last few meetings have been going. I don't agree with Joe Burrow being the second best quarterback. That's him living off that one Super Bowl run. That was years ago now. He has something to prove this season. Give me what's this? Josh Allen. Give me Josh Allen. Give me my guy Josh Allen. But the Chiefs have the refs on their sides. Like, come on, guys. Let's be real. It wasn't a PI, but they get away with so many holding calls.
nah, bro, it was a PI.
They have the refs in their back pocket. Whether that was a PI or not, okay, it was a PI. Why don't they ever call those holds when Mahomes be holding the ball forever, and then when they finally go chase him and they hold him, they never call it? Because that happened to the Steelers like
he's
3
Houdini.
times. Anytime that happened, last game that happened like 3 times. But for Mahomes, he got all day. They want him. Listen, y'all talking about all this, what you call this? Hollywood is out to January. Isaiah Pacheco, they will be fine. Okay, they will be fine. They'll do their things, and then some close games. The rest won't be there, to hop them out when the going gets tough. So, but they did their job this week. They beat the Bengals. I'm not going to complain about that. But hopefully, when we play them, we get the whistle on our side. That's all I'll say.
Go ahead, Jeff.
This is probably the best rivalry in football right now, between these two teams. The interesting part that I just realized is that Mahomes is only 21-25 when going into the fourth quarter trailing. So it's not like he's always being a comeback kid. He has a losing record going into the fourth quarter trailing. So I think this game is kind of a microcosm of the end of last season, how the Chiefs did. They was trying to figure some things out, work some kinks out. Yeah, he had interceptions, but he's trying things. He's trying to get Xavier Worthy involved, trying to see what kind of breakaway speed he has and see if he can get separation from receivers. He's just trying stuff. I do think the loss of Pacheco is important because still Noah P. Ryan can supplement what Pacheco gives you as far as toughness, as far as, attitude, tenacity. And he's supposed to be giving a better pass catcher and get more involved in the passing game. I think really right now that everything is going to revolve on Andy Reid. Like, let's see what you can draw up. Let's see how creative you can get because, like you guys are saying, like,
we know he got that.
Yeah, he is, but like now it's time to show it, But they got away with 2 weeks of winning, you know what I'm saying? It's got them going in the right direction. But now Andy's got to really start thinking strategically. It's like, all right, how can we get some players open? How can we get these guys in position? That first game against the Ravens I thought was real impressive because they ran the reverse with Worthy. It came through as a touchdown. I don't know what's up with Kelsey and this fake pitching it every time he catches it at the 10 yards or doing that little fake thing. I don't know. Is that a Euro step of football or something? I don't know. But he bugging with that. But I think the Chiefs is, like I said, they still just trying to figure some stuff out. You still got Spagnuolo on the other side, on the defensive side, and I think that'll be good for him. The resume, his history, his ability to get things done. The Bengals themselves, right now they're in their own way. This is the 4th season in a row they started 0-2. So this is obviously something that they're accustomed to. I think they can kind of overcome this and come out the hole. I mean, obviously they're going to beat the Browns up. They'll probably beat the Ravens up. And I'm sure they'll take one from the Steelers. It's not like the Steelers have this all explosive offense that
about the Steelers, man. Keep going, bro.
I'm just saying, like, it's not like it. So I think
help yourself, huh?
I'm just keeping it real. I think they could take one. That's that's a couple games there, but the Bengals I'm not really so worried about. The Chiefs I want to see more. I was hoping for more, but I think both are going to trend in the right direction, and we could see this rematch coming down the line probably December, January again. But this game, the Chiefs they did what they had to do when they had to do it. Yes, it was a pass interference, and maybe they do have the refs on their side just a little bit because they are the defending champs.
A lot. Multiple years.
I hear you. I mean, it's the face of the league. Come on, what you want them to do?
Since Jeff mentioned the shots on the Steelers, who are 2-0, only undefeated team in this chat represented right now. So on the stream, I just want to say
it's
that
3 of y'all, so
but nevertheless, I did watch a lot of this game. I was watching both games, but man, they came to play. I don't know. Joe gets up for Pat, man. I think he's kind of mad about it. They need T. Higgins back, yo. They was doubling the hell out of Chase watching that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they need T. They were doing a lot of tight end screens and tight end passes. That ain't gonna get it done, yo. They're gonna get the ball down the field. And they had 3 tight ends catching passes. Yo, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? How many tight ends y'all got? But T. Higgins back. I don't know how big of. I think Mixon might be a big loss for them too, low key. I feel like with the Chiefs though, like. Old boy did get that pick off Worthy, which is good, but he got cooked by Rice on the other play. So he should have talking to both receivers though. For the touchdown. So that was a
nice ass play though.
That was the Rice one, or just the pick? The pick was crazy.
Yeah, the pick was crazy.
The pass could have been better.
Yeah, pass definitely could have been better.
But Andy, Jeff, Andy don't care. It don't matter who there, bro. He gonna have some shit schemed up or worked out, bro. I ain't really worried about Andy.
Yeah, I need Kelsey to wake up. Like,
I don't know if it's a wake up thing, man. I think Kelsey might really retire this year. I think Kelsey a little longer than tooth, bro.
And you know what, bro? I really sat there before I made that pick, and I said, "Oh, he might be cooked," but I said, "It's Trav. I gotta believe in it." I went with the
I think he's gonna be with his brother next year, dancing around in sweatsuits, bro. I think he's done.
Yeah, I'm sick.
He's gonna be on some kind of Monday Night Football show with his bro, yo, for real shit.
Got enough commercials.
Yeah, seriously.
That's where he killed my
I don't think he cooked. Bro. I just think he like.
That's what you sound like you saying, bro.
You're not cooked, but he's tired. He's probably ready to move on.
It sounds like you saying my fantasy is cooked.
But we've been through that. We read draft night. Yeah, bro.
Your fantasy cooked, but all things draft all the way. That's what I'm saying. So you right where you always at, last place. Like
always at.
I was just saying. So
always in the basement, ain't you?
But anyway, oh my god. We're gonna see what we move forward. Let's move forward for the show done, yo. What team? What was the biggest upset of the weekend in your opinion? Daryl, why don't you start, bro?
I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Wow.
I mean, this Niners is who they are. I didn't think the Vikings was gonna pull that off. Even with the injuries that they came in with, I feel like there's only a couple of teams in the NFC that could really, like, on their best day, give the Niners a challenge. But I definitely didn't see that especially from Sam Darnold. I didn't see that for them. So definitely Vikings.
Toby.
I'll go with I just had the name of the Raiders. The Raiders. Raiders pulled the upset of the week. The Ravens being at home. I'm expecting them to bounce back after losing to the Chiefs in week 1. Now they're in a hole that I'm happy they're 0-2, but it's a big upset to me. Even bigger than the 49ers thing.
Jeff.
The Packers over the Colts. I mean, I expected Malik Willis to be like garbage curbside trash. For them to beat AR.
He was though. They ran the ball a lot.
Yeah, I know he was, but then they ain't see that coming. Like
they should have. Yeah,
like should have saw that coming.
And AR wasn't cooking.
He wasn't.
Yeah, he's
only one AR, Austin.
Right, only one.
Nah. We gonna get him there. We gonna get him there.
What was your biggest upset?
He gonna be consistent, bro. It was definitely the Raiders by far. You feel me?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think anybody expected the Raiders to win this game. Come on.
I did.
Like
Daryl did. Democrat
was-
definitely did. He politicking early at it too. Like
You said what, bro?
said, Democrat was definitely politicking early at the Raiders.
Yo, listen, they were 8.5-point underdogs, so I gotta agree with Daryl. I mean, with Jordan, Toby, yo. It gotta be the Raiders, bro. That's
Come on, it has to be the Raiders. Like,
I said we're gonna finish in the
Come on.
division again, man.
What? Huh? Anyway.
what? I mean, yeah. Is that a playoff? But second in the division, bro, you're saying it like that's automatic going to the playoffs.
Wait, what the
I
fuck?
never
You got
said
Arson
that. I
Crabbe
just
Jordan
said
over there?
second in
Fuck, you got
division.
scissors, nigga? What you doing?
He got a leather sleeve.
Something like, yeah, come on, bro. You know what I mean? Maybe had to smoke another one. You
Oh, all right.
9:30.
All I saw was scissors. I didn't know what the fuck's going on. Which 2-0 team is most surprising to you, Jeff?
The 2-0 team that's most surprising to me, and this might be a surprise to y'all, but the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, I didn't expect the Seahawks to be 2-0. I thought they would have trouble with the Patriots this week, and they came out, they overcame them, and Geno looked good. DK he looked good, so I thought the Seahawks is the most surprising one at this point.
Jordan.
I'm actually gonna go with the Saints. The Saints have honestly surprised me. Like they beat the Cowboys. I definitely didn't see this coming. Like the level of explosion that they're getting, you feel me, on offense, like it's crazy, bro. That's my most surprising team right now. That was a no Diddy moment. My fault.
Toby.
Minnesota.
Thank
They're 2-0. They blew up the Giants, and then they just pull up the upset of the week.
I thought it was the Raiders, which like make up your mind.
Y'all
Turn
like
coat.
2-0.
Turn coat.
He said
End of the week.
He just wanted to call me turncoat. Come on.
Make up your mind, bro.
Listen, they're not 2-0. Don't get carried away, man. You guys ain't undefeated.
Daryl.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers. Not because of who they played, but just because of the offseason they had. Like they got rid of all of their weapons on the offensive side. And I didn't think their defense was gonna be as good as it is so far. Like they gave up the fewest points so far at 13 points. So yeah, I didn't expect that so far with them.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of go where you're going, but different way. I'm gonna go with the Bills only because they also give all their weapons to me, and I didn't think they'd be, as good as they would be and stuff like that. But the defense still holding up. So
they played the Commanders the first week though, right?
I thought
They played the Cardinals.
Cardinals, whatever. I mean,
But the Cardinals aren't that bad. But to your point, real quick, Mike, just about the Bills, it seems like they're playing just a totally different style offense without Stephon Diggs, and I think it's made Josh Allen. Maybe I don't want to say more mature, but just a lot more relaxed as far as like not having to do too much. You only need to do this when we need it. It doesn't have to be every play, every down. Like you get what I'm saying?
Low key seemed like Herbert and Josh doing the same thing right now. They both not doing too much. They running the ball a lot. Like it's interesting.
And it even seems like it's more free too. Like he don't got the pressure of actually having to get the ball to Stephon Diggs. It's just like, okay, I'm good enough now to where like, okay, I don't need this dominant wide receiver. Like, give me subpar talent or average enough talent, and I can make it work. You feel me? I think that's. No, they still have good. They still have a decent. They don't have a dominant number one, No, bro. Like
They
when
do?
you get
Who
to
got
a
dominant number
certain,
one?
no, I said they don't.
I wondered who.
No, I said they don't have a dominant
Oh, they
number
don't.
one.
Okay.
But what I'm
Alright.
saying is when you get to a certain level of QB, like you know what I'm saying, like it's probably okay. Just give me enough, and I can make it work. Like you know what I mean. But it's definitely changing up the offense and the way they call plays, and just it's
Listen, man.
it's nice to actually see.
The
They
difference
finally
is
have.
that Allen ain't turning the
screaming.
ball
We've
over.
been screaming for the Bills to give Josh Allen a running game for the last 3 years, have we not?
He and James Cook been there for 3 years.
Well, it's coming. It's here.
Well,
the difference is Allen ain't turning the ball over.
He's not because he's not throwing the ball as much and he's not actually doing as much. So it kind of
He
go both
still
ways.
can throw it a short period of time. and throw
But
it
the
to
key
him.
is though, when you get to playoff time, you need somebody to make a play for you. Who's gonna make the play for them? That's the problem, right? It's gonna be
He will.
But who gonna get open? Is it gonna be Shakir? Is it gonna be Samuel? That's the problem.
Cook.
We got.
I mean, shit, them plays wasn't going to fucking Stephon Diggs anyway. That's one of the reasons why he got the fuck up out of there.
Well,
Cook.
that's just,
We're going to Cook. Cook gonna have an all-pro season.
All right, cool. Next thing.
Facts.
Which team are you surprised that's 0-2? The most surprised, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would
For
say
me, I'll go.
the
go
Ravens. I mean, we got
Yeah,
jumped
I
right
would
out.
say
They was an
same.
AFC chip last year. Like they come out the gate 0-2. I know the Chiefs might have been a tough game, but I expected the Raiders to win. But I like a lot of America didn't expect us to win, and for them not to
I ain't
win, is,
expect shit.
I mean, I had faith in my team. I don't know.
I ain't
about
expect shit.
you notice I never turn on my team, but
I'll never turn on my tripping.
yeah, I'm just saying, like I expected them to be better off this season. At least I thought they might have even had the Chiefs the first game because the Chiefs had a lackluster first game last year.
So everybody answer the Ravens. Big 0-2 team.
I was gonna say
Pretty
Saints.
much.
I put the Chargers.
All right. You
No.
got Chargers.
He said, oh, well, no, he said,
0-2?
He said,
Not surprised about being someone being 0-2? Or
No,
surprised
surprised
there?
by being,
Oh,
surprised by being
okay.
0-2, yeah.
Oh, I did this wrong. Surprised about I go with the Ravens as well. Like I just
All
see
right,
it.
cool. Let's move on. So we're not here for all night. Jordan, I think you had a lock of the week. You were talking about earlier.
Yes, sir.
All right. What you
So I'm going to take the Raiders 2.5. If they don't fucking cover a field goal, Jeff, don't say Raiders for fucking 3 weeks.
Listen, man.
Don't
You know
say
what
Raiders
the
for
lock of
3
next week
fucking
is?
weeks.
You know what the
What?
lock of the week is? Hurts gonna have a
Yo,
turnover.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Hurts gonna have a turnover. That's a lock.
You better-
Lock it in.
Yo, stop playing with me, bro. Y'all
The
niggas
player
better
prop
win.
bet.
Bro, y'all niggas better win, bro.
Hurts gonna turn it over at least once.
Daryl, what you got, bro? You got one?
2.5.
Yeah, my luck is the Seahawks money line against the Dolphins. Like Dolphins without Tua on the road in that loud stadium. I don't see them walking
No
home
cornerbacks
with
do
a win.
it too.
That's a good job. Yo, I'm playing this ticket.
You know what's crazy? I realized that Gino been a start quarterback for like 3 years now. He actually not playing too bad, yo.
Nah,
Over there. So I
it's the
gotta.
braids.
It's the Braves. It's the Braves. Okay.
They finally get my boy.
Yo,
Jackson
so what?
Smith and
Wait,
Jake with the ball.
are you teasing? You talking about Jordan? Because it's 5 now. The Raiders. Panthers.
Oh, it's 5.
Yeah.
Yo, okay, yeah, no, definitely season for sure. What are you tripping?
okay.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
So,
Alternates, bro. Like, but I'm
So-
playing that. Seahawks money line.
yeah.
Raiders 2.5. And what you got?
I got the Ravens. I don't, but I think they're gonna beat the Cowboys. yo.
Outright?
It's only one. Don't matter. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's only one. I think they beat the Cowboys at home. I don't. You know, it's crazy. That's
That's a
tough
bad
one.
bet.
Huh?
That's a bad
I'm
bet.
staying away from that game. You don't know which
I
team.
mean-
Cowboys
is.
won 16 straight at home. You think they're gonna lose 2 in a row?
Hold on, what was the bet?
Ravens over the Cowboys.
You know what? Never mind. Hold on. Leave that alone.
Ravens over the.
The Chiefs. The Chiefs money line over the Falcons. There you go. That's it.
Oh yeah, because Patrick Mahomes 13-1 in domes.
Not only that, it's an 8 o'clock game. I don't
Yeah.
trust Kirk back to back primetime
The
games.
primetime Kurt.
he got one off. He ain't gonna get 2 in a row. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right.
So that's what I'm gonna go with. The pick'ems last week. So let's get into it real quick.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So the pick'ems last week, we had we picked 4 games here. We had the Cowboys at the Saints, the Lions at the Bucks, the Chiefs at the Bengals, and the Dolphins at the Bills. So at the end of the week, we had let's see here what we got. Leading the week last week was yours truly, me. You know what I'm saying? I was 3-1.
I heard the fix was in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I bet you did. He's keeping track of this now this year. I ain't finessing like you did last year. I was 3-1. I had the Saints, Bucks, Fins, and the Chiefs. I was the only one to pick the Bucks and the Saints. Followed that up by Jordan, was 2-2. He had Dallas, the Lions, the Chiefs, and the Bills. He was the only one to pick the Bills. The rest of y'all picked Dallas, Lions, Fins, and the Chiefs, and y'all was 1-3. So overall, at this point, the leader. Oh wait, yours truly. It's a winning week for the whole establishment. Me, 6-2 overall so far the first 2 weeks. Yeah, there you go. Jordan 5-3 strong. Toby Mike 5-3 strong. Democrat and International Toby 4-4.
First of all, I could never follow Toby's picks, so when I followed him, I should have known when I was.
Oh yeah.
Never picked the same teams.
Yo, niggas crazy.
Last week was a bad week, dog.
Bad
week. I definitely made some bad choices. I said I never picked the Fins. I don't even never believed in Tua. I don't know why I did that.
That's why I get picking Cowboys.
And then the Cowboys.
We picked the fucking Cowboys.
I underestimated the Saints.
We picked the Cowboys. Facts.
I underestimated.
Wait, Jeff, you picked the Saints?
Absolutely, and the Bucks.
Yeah, and the Bucks. Yeah, the Bucks. Yeah.
That was a toss-up game, but I just didn't see the Lions having back-to-back games.
6 though. I don't know.
It might have been some, but they only won by 4, so they ain't covered the spread. But they just went out.
They went underdogs. The Bucks
they was underdogs.
The Bucks were underdogs, right?
They covered their spread.
Yeah, I actually took Bucks 6.5 too.
Lions again. He got her. Lions Cardinals was a good game. Texans Vikings.
A really good game.
Why he got that? And he got
because the Vikings is 2-0, and everybody's saying they were so explosive and elite. Like I want to see him doing it. Brian Flores with this great defense. Let's do it again. Like
so, Jeff, you ready to write him down? Who go?
I always down, man.
I'll go first.
I'll go first.
Oh, good.
So I got the Cards. I think Kyler and Marvin, they just scratching the surface. So and the Lions secondary, they suspect. I got the Texans, and I got of course the Steelers.
That's the game right there. That's the one.
That's smash mouth football.
Steelers, that Charger Steelers. Sheesh. I don't know.
All right. I got
Toby. Go ahead, Toby.
Oh, Toby.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lions. You know what? First, let me go. I'm gonna go Texans. I'm going with the Texans over the Vikings. I'm going with the Steelers over the Chargers. We home is our first home game. We're not losing that game. Lions versus Cards. That's gonna be a good game. The Cardinals really looked good last week. They at home. Lions. Jared Goff. He hasn't been the best so far. Give me the Cardinals.
Jordan, you finally ready to go?
Yeah.
I got Lions, Texans, Chargers.
Jeff.
I got the Cardinals, I got the Texans, and I got the Chargers. Listen, it's no hate, bro. It's just what I mean.
It's not even no hate. It's
hate.
It's not. When Daryl said it best though, smash mouth football, which quarterback is going to make the better throw? Think about it.
That's your man's, Phil.
What?
Man,
bro, this guy is crazy. That's your
all right.
You the one that's saying he's not a running back. Man, that's not a freaking running back, man. Where's Russell Wilson at, dog? I'm tired of this.
Who's the better quarterback here? Who's the better quarterback here?
Who you got?
Russell Wilson, man.
It's tough because I'm a real football analyst.
Yikes!
It's tough.
Yikes!
It's tough for me, so. I'm just saying.
Right, he said, right, yikes, like nigga, what?
Yikes!
Like, what are you talking about? Steelers.
Come on, man. Toby got to fight the catch, man.
Bro.
Come on.
So hold on, give me a second, yo. So, well, I'm going with the Texans, of course, obviously. Lions, Cardinals. Daryl want to see Kyler get cooked because his fantasy team, him and Marvin. But that's why he picked them. But I think the Lions bounce back. Campbell gonna have a good week of practice. They're gonna bounce back. The Lions gonna win that game. They're gonna figure out something to do about Kyler. Chargers Steelers is my tough one, yo. Because my heart,
bro, pick the fucking Steelers, and then who are you picking for the other game?
I said Lions already in Texas. Steelers in my heart, but I kind of agree with Jordan though as far as the X's and O's. Man, it's kind of tough, bro. But,
yeah, Chargers they only giving up 13. Steelers giving up 16. So I'm got it good.
Steelers only scoring 13.
They got 19. That's all we need.
They got 12 field goals this
But they
season.
also don't have no weapons either to throw to on the outside. So I'm
True.
gonna worry about that. The Chargers. So
And the Steelers.
They got
Besides
J.K.
GP.
Dobbins. He know that Steelers defense.
yeah, but we got GP.
You
So
clamp him up all the time. He gonna get clamped.
I think
All
I'm
right.
gonna
This
go.
is this ain't the
I'm gonna go
Ravens.
with the
This
Steelers,
ain't the
bro.
Ravens offensive line.
I'm gonna
Yo,
go with the
J.K.
Steelers.
Dobbins is the first player to win 100 yards in back-to-back games for the Chargers, man.
Yeah, but
You're
we
not
don't
gonna have
lock that
Hey,
shit
he
down.
that. He's
Y'all
that,
think he
hey,
get 100?
Hey,
How
Hey,
am I
listen.
not gonna
the only thing stopping him from being a top 10 running back was injuries. He's about to. He's introducing himself to the league. If he stays healthy,
He was at
Well,
Ohio
that's a
State,
third-
right?
oh, you
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
He's
right,
gonna
well,
run for
anyway,
1,300, 1,400.
thank you all for coming out. Everybody, thanks, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Been a great show once again. We'll be back next week to talk about those predictions that we had. For everybody on
Appreciate
here,
y'all.
Jeff, Jordan,
Sure.
Toby, Daryl, myself. Thank you once again, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.
He'll be at the airport. He about to slide.
Well,